Hello, I'm Ben Saltzman, and if you are on this page, you are probably a type 8 on the Enneagram, where you've got a lot of type 8 characteristics in you. And in this video, I get to talk some about the 8, show you a clip of type 8s. So everybody on this panel that I'm going to show you, they're all type 8s. And then I'll tell you about a couple of free webinars that we're offering. So first, the high side of the 8. You're strong, powerful, determined, tenacious. You don't get pulled away by namby-pamby emotions. Like, you see what to do and you do it. Now, on the low side, that can be intimidating for other people. Other people can be like, whoa, too much, I can't handle you. Turn down the volume. And often as an 8, you don't even know it. And the 8s, you kind of tune into other people's weaknesses and can judge them for being weak. And on this panel that we're about to show you, they're all type 8s on the panel. Sue, one of the type 8s, dives into this territory, and you get some fun examples of how this showed up in her life. So enjoy.
I was drawn to the Enneagram when I was introduced to it 8 years ago by a coach who was hired to solve the Sue problem. And I knew nothing about this. Is like the way I imagine myself operating is that I'm a freight train. I mean, you asked the question, Ben, how did you know you can do it? And my answer to that is, I can do anything. Fast and well. Like, that's the consciousness.
That's what it feels like.
There's no limit to what I could achieve.
Yeah.
So,
but you're like a little bitty thing. You're not that tall.
No, I always say I play bigger. So, so the way I think about it is, I've always, in my leadership in life and work, it's always been, well, I mean, Sue, she's amazing. I mean, you get her on our team and stuff gets done and it's incredible and so much force and passion and drive and people love working for her, blah, blah, blah. And now and then you're gonna get burned. So it's this freight train that's spinning off these sparks and they land in people's eyes. And I always thought, well, that's just the trade-off. I mean, to your point, like, everybody could just relax. Like, it's no big deal. I don't really feel the sparks, and I may see them, but if I got hit by a spark, I'd be fine. So what's wrong with y'all? So anyway, what's really shifted for me is this.
Wait, before the shift.
I don't want to talk about the shift. Okay, anyway. It's still bad.
I want to hear like an example of the spark. Like, what did you say? What happened? Am I exasperating you?
No, I don't feel exasperated. I just feel like, God, the catalog of, at that moment, the reason there was a Sue problem is that I was working for an Enneagram 3, and he would just come in and he would just like, I just had this amazing meeting and it was 2 hours and it was blah, blah, blah. And I said this and I did this. Or he would introduce himself for 25 minutes in a meeting with 4 people, right? Oh my God. And so many times what I did with him is totally ignore his pleas for attention in such a way that it was an omission. But I knew every time I did it, it burned him. And I wanted to burn him. Because what a weak loser to need all this validation from me. I didn't even understand it. And it pained him every time.
Right. So it's like an intentional dismissal is what it feels like.
Or you ask that one question that points out, you say something like, yeah, but could he really be a credible investor? I mean, you just spent 2 hours, but could he really be? And the answer I already knew was no. So I wanted to just totally sweep his legs out from under him, like, just so he knew you wasted that entire 2 hours, even though you felt so good about it. So even worse than not validating
You're like
him.
taking him out.
So easy, because you know everyone's buttons. Yeah. Like, I got you, buddy. And so you're just like, bing.
I'll kick your ass, and then I'll tell you I just kicked it. There won't even be any mystery about it, or I'll tell you in advance I'm going to do it.
You're not quite as subtle as she is.
No, I'm probably on one of the spectrum end of that.
So how do you know all of our buttons? What's up with that? How do you know our weaknesses?
We watch you like a hawk.
Uh-huh.
So there's your panel. And I love panels. I think they are by far the best way to learn about the Enneagram, to learn about your type and the other types. Better than audio or reading a book or any other way, because the type really comes alive for you. So I really encourage you to watch a good set of panels so you can really get the deep dive into what's going on underneath for the type.